So today we're going to take a little practice that is either something you can do early in the morning to just get yourself up nice and kindly or gently, or a late evening right before you go to bed practice. I consider this sort of an evening, early morning practice variant. So you will need a couple of props. If you don't have them, we'll work around that. If you have a block. If not, a pillow off your couch will work just great. And we will be using a strap toward the end of class as well. If you don't have a strap, a towel, a scarf, a belt, any of those things will work just as well. We're going to put those off to the side for a little while here though, because we won't be using those first things. So first pose we're going to start with is child's pose. Taking your big toes together, knees as wide apart as you need to, sink back into your hips, press into the palms. Walk your hands out. We're getting a rare visit from Patrick, my kitten. Take your forehead to the floor. If your forehead doesn't come to the floor, you can reach out for that block. Place the block beneath your forehead to support it. Just begin to notice your breath here, your inhale, your exhale. You can rest your forearms on the floor since this is a bit more relaxing practice. We're just starting out. If your knees bother you in this pose, you can always take a towel or a blanket and roll it up a little bit behind the knees. That makes a little bit more space for the kneecap. Or place a blanket or a pillow or towels underneath your knees so they don't compress as much. And now just start to inhale first into your belly and then into your chest and then your collarbones, starting that 3-part breath. Allowing the breath to smooth out, lengthen out. Bringing your mind to setting an intention. If you're practicing at the beginning of the day, setting your intention for what you want for the day to be like. Or if you're practicing this practice at the very end of the day, maybe your intention is to get good sleep, to rest well. Breathe that breath into your intention. Your head is on a block or a pillow, you might find you can take that block or pillow off to the side and maybe your head gets a little bit closer to the floor. If it still doesn't make it, you can stack the backs of your hands together and just rest your forehead there. Imagine your 3-part breath filling first the backs of your lungs right inside the kidney area, and then moving up to the center of the chest on the back. And then the back where the shoulders come together. Exhaling, shoulders, chest, belly. And then wherever your hands are, take them out in front, come up on the fingertips for just a moment here. Lift and lengthen and then drop your head in between the shoulder blades. Patrick is convinced I'm going to give him more treats. On your next inhale, go ahead and reach those hands way over to the left, walking that right hand out a little bit further, palms flat now, and just relax down into a forward fold on the left side. Stay here and take a few more deep breaths. Patrick's found my secret stash of treats. And taking one more deep breath here. Come up on the fingertips, lift and lengthen, walk your hands back to center. Drop your head in between your shoulders. And then come up and walk your hands way over to the right. iPad. Palms flat. Fold forward over your right leg. And then come up on the fingertips, inhale right back to center, walk those fingers out, drop your head in between your shoulder blades. And bring the palms flat and rock forward onto hands and knees. So we're going to take about 5 to 8 cat-cows here. Lean into the hands, press through the palms, press through the knuckles of the fingers, press into the tops of the feet. Round little space in between the shoulders and lift the belly. Inhaling, drop the belly down, lift the chin, roll the shoulders together. And then exhale, arch and round, lifting the belly up, pressing to the tops of the feet and pressing away from the floor. And then inhale, cow tilt, belly down. And exhale, arch and round, cat arch. Taking 3 more at your own breath pace. Find a little movement in the spine. I apologize for my sniffles. I'm just getting over a cold. This is a particularly good practice for that. And then coming back to center. You're going to walk that left hand a little bit closer toward the middle. Rock back a little bit. Take that right arm all the way underneath and come down either on the side of your right side, or you can take that block underneath your right ear and walk that left hand out. A little twist underneath here. So right hand going underneath, palms up, left hand out in front. Unwinding the shoulders. And then pull that left hand back, press through the palm, come back to center, change sides. Take the right palm down, lean forward, or back a little bit. Take that left hand underneath and bring your either side of your head, left side to the block or to the floor. Walk your right hand out in front, stretch it out, a little twist here. If you work at a computer all day, this feels really good. And then walk that right palm back down, press back up. Take that block off to the side if you were using one or a pillow. Come back into your cat-cow stance, drop the belly down, cow tilt, lift the chin, roll the shoulders together. Exhale, arch and round. Inhale, tilt. And exhale, arch and round. And then come back to center. You're going to bring that right knee over to that right wrist. Walk your left foot back into pigeon. So walk that left foot way back. Look back behind you. Make sure that left foot is nice and flat. You can either pull that right foot a little bit closer if you have a more comfortable pigeon for you or more open hips. Or if you're new to the practice, keep your heel underneath your pelvis. So starting here, press your palms, lift your chest, arch your back a little bit, press in the tops and back foot. And then walk yourself out into your sleeping pigeon. If you are uncomfortable in this pose and your knee is compressed overly, you can take what I call the side-lying pigeon, which is to roll to the outside of your right hip, bend that left knee a little bit, turn the left toe out, and then fold down. This is going to get the outside compartment of the hip. So if you're not used to this or you haven't done this posture before, it's fun to try something new. And one more deep breath. Wherever you're at in your pigeon, start to walk your hands back up. You're going to come up on your fingertips and bring your fingertips a little bit closer to your knee. And lift up, arch and round the back. Little back bend here. And then exhale, palms down. Bring that right leg back. We're going to switch sides. Take that left knee over to the left wrist. Arrange yourself however you want. Walk that right leg back, look back, and make sure your right toes are directly behind your right hip and flat. Palms flat, lift up a little bit here. And then exhale, walk the hands out. Palms flat. Elbows down. You can come down your forehead if that feels comfortable for you. I kind of like right here on my forearms. Once again, if you took sideline pigeon on one side and your knee is bad on this side too, or you're having some struggles, you can take sideline pigeon on this side as well. Think about lengthening your spine, dropping your hips, and just breathing into the space. And last deep breath. Wherever you're at, start to press into your palms and come up. You're going to come up on your fingertips a little bit closer to your hips. Lift and lengthen the spine in your deeper back bend here. And then palms flat, come back into your tabletop position and sit back into child's pose. Just for 2 deep breaths here. And then rock forward and come all the way down onto your belly. Patrick's going to help. So palms flat, forearms on the floor, elbows directly beneath the shoulders or a little bit out in front. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. And then pull the mat, take your hands and pull the mat to you, lift forward and up. Here you can either lift your chin or look straight down at the floor. Or if you want a little bit more neck stretch, you can drop your chin to your chest. Keep a tiny bit of engagement in your belly. Roll your shoulders away from your ears wherever you're at. Think lengthening through the spine, making space in between each vertebrae. Very slowly relax. You can take your hands one on top of another, palms flat and forehead to your palms. And start to walk the hands back alongside the shoulders, press all the way back and come into a seat. So if you are like me and have a little bit of tension in the back of the legs, you can take a blanket or block underneath your hips here. We're going to take our legs super wide. So you may be here, this may be your wide, this may be your wide. Whatever it is, find your spot here. If you have a little bit, it feels kind of a strain to sit up nice and tall, you can take your hands behind your hips and just lift through the chest, around the shoulders, up and back, and then flex the toes strongly, press the backs of the legs into the floor. If you have a little bit more flexibility or want to go a little bit further for a little bit more of a deep stretch, you can start to walk your hands forward and grab hold of your ankles or your toes or the bottoms of your feet. Think long spine, look up and lengthen. Chin out in front of you, and then exhale, fold forward to wherever you want to go. Why is it when you have a cold it lasts forever? I say that about the flu too. Maybe it's because it is cold outside right now. Three more deep breaths. And drop your hands down to the floor. Slowly press all the way up. Take a couple of breaths here. Let your feet twiddle around a little bit. Twiddle. I haven't used that word in a really long time. Reach inside your left leg with your left hand. Bend that knee in. Same with the right. Come into bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Now, if you like to have your heels super, super close, that's great. I like to have them a little bit further out. A little less strain on my hips. Sit up nice and tall. Pull the chest forward, lift and lengthen. And then start to walk your hands down and start to fold forward, looking out past your toes until you get to a point where you can go pretty much no further. You get a prize chance here to look at your feet, give them a nice massage, top and bottom. Admire the gift of what they've done for the day, or what they're going to do for the day if you're doing this in the morning. And then lengthen out through the spine and fold a little bit deeper. Take 3 more deep breaths. And then inhale, start to press yourself all the way back up. Take your hands to the outside of your knees and press those knees together. And go ahead and come to lie down on your back. So go ahead and grab that strap and that block so a little bit closer to you, right alongside where your arms are going to be. Come all the way down. Take your feet about hip distance apart. Walk your heels in a little bit closer. Take your hands alongside your hips, and on an inhale, you're going to lift your hips up. Take your block on the flattest side and tuck it underneath your hips, right below underneath the sacrum to give you support underneath the hips. Take your arms out to the side, palms up. Walk your feet a little bit wider and turn the toes out just a little bit. And just take some nice deep breaths. This is supported bridge pose. I like this because I can rest my hips, allow my back to just relax. This is, for all intents and purposes, an inversion because your heart is above your head. You get the benefits of the soothingness of an inversion without some of the strain and stretch. A little more effortless. And then start to walk your feet back toward one another. Press your feet and lift your hips. Take the block off to the side. And very slowly lower your back down, coming your hips down last. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. You can make them to figure eights or little circles to the left and to the right. And then reach out for that strap. You're going to hug the right knee into the chest, take the left leg out nice and straight. Press through that left heel as much as you can. Wrap the strap around the ball of the right foot. And take it straight up. That's Daphne sneezing out there. That's what she thinks of yoga today. And make sure your toes are pointed straight on. So I have a tendency to kind of curve my toes out a little bit and not engage the inside of my thigh. Engage the inside of your leg, rotate a little bit inward. Bring those toes straight up. Roll your shoulders down. It is more important to have your legs straight than to have your toes closer to your nose. So if you're way out here, that's okay too, as long as your leg is straight. We call this set of 3 poses Supta Padangusthasana series or cycle. Really great if you have tight backs of legs, sit a lot, just have tight hamstrings or lower back issues. And then take both ends of the strap into your right hand. Take your left hand to your left hip and hold that left hip down as you take that right leg over to the right, keeping the left hip down. If you're feeling uber flexible for the day, you can grab hold of the big toe. I'm not feeling that today, so it won't happen for me. Keep that left shoulder down, left hip down. Flexing of the left and right toes. And then inhale back up to center. Take both ends of the strap into your left hand. Take your right hand to your hip crease. Tuck that thumb in the hip crease and press that hip away from you toward the left toes or the end of your mat. And pull that leg all the way across over to the left. Right arm goes out to the right. Keep thinking of taking that right hip down toward the left toes, the end of your mat. You can turn and look over your right fingertips or look straight up at the ceiling. Keeping the left toes flexed, right toes flexed. And then inhale, come back up through center. Pull both ends of the strap into your hands and pull those toes a little bit closer, then bend the knee. Bring the knee into the chest, give a little squeeze. Flex and point the toes, circle the ankle. And then you're going to switch legs. Bring that left leg in, right toes out. Flex through the right toes. Wrap your strap around the ball of your left foot right below the toes. Pull the leg up. Center your toes right down the middle, so activate the inside of the leg as well as the outside. Roll the shoulders down. Take some nice deep breaths. And then take both ends of the strap into the left hand. Right hand to your right hip, left leg goes over to the left. Right shoulder stays down, right hand on right hip down. Once again here, you can grab hold of that big toe and hold it there. Breathe into that space. Stretching the inside of the leg. And then inhale back up to center. Both ends of the strap into the right hand. Left thumb goes to the left hip crease. Press that hip away from you toward the end of your mat. And take those toes all the way across over to the right. Left arm goes out to the left. You can turn and look over the left fingertips or straight up. Keep the left and right toes flexed and active. And then inhaling back up through center, both hands on either end of the strap, pull those toes a little bit closer. And then bend that knee into the chest, take the strap off to the side. Hug that knee in and bring that right knee in as well. Rock side to side. You can circle the legs in the hip socket by going out and in. You can make figure 8 shapes with your hips, or circles, or just rock back and forth. Give yourself a little lower back massage. Hug the knees in a little bit tighter. And then release those feet down to the floor. If you were taking care of your back today, you can walk your feet as wide as the mat, drop the knees together, tuck your shoulder blades underneath, or you can take those heels out to the corners of your mat. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath as well. Take your hands to your belly or out to the side, palms up. For just a moment, lift your chin, look up at your toes, and then lower it back down, lengthening your neck. Take some nice deep breaths, returning back to your intention. back to your breath. Returning to the three-part breath, inhaling belly, chest, collarbones, and exhaling collarbones, chest, belly. So if you have a bit more time to spend today in Shavasana, I invite you to spend as long as you feel you need. If you are out of time, or this was just the amount of time you had to yourself, then very slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your knees bent, feet flat to the floor. And then inhale, take your arms up overhead, stretch through your fingertips. Lengthen your spine and press your tailbone up and out and your lower back down to the floor. And then roll over onto your right side, resting your head on your elbow. Take a few breaths here, keeping your intention in mind, focusing on it. And then when you're ready, press up to whatever seated position you like best. You can take a few moments to meditate either in the morning or the night. Closing your eyes, taking your palms out, rolling your shoulders back and finding some peace and quiet in the breath. You can continue on with your normal meditation if you have a meditation practice, or on your next exhale, drop the fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Open your eyes, look up at your palms. Exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. I know that your time is very precious, and I appreciate that you've taken the time to spend it with me on YouTube today. Take care of yourself, and I hope you enjoy this practice. Have a good evening or have a great morning.